Now today we're talking about how I plan out my photography business for 2022. I'm so excited for the upcoming year, and if you're like me, I like to see the behind the scenes of how people plan. I am a planner myself, and if you're not, but you're just curious at how I do my stuff, then great. And maybe you are a planner like me, and so you want to implement some of the things that I do. That's great too. I'm excited to be able to peel back the curtain and kind of walk you through my process of planning out my business for the upcoming year. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Rebecca Rice, and I teach family photographers how to gain a life of financial freedom through a thriving photography business. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can be notified when new videos go live every single week. Now, before we dive into that, I did want to let you know about a free guide that I have available, linked in the description for you. It is a blueprint that's step-by-step to help you make your first $3,000 on a single date of mini sessions. Now, when I say date of minis, I don't mean a full day of shooting. I'm talking 2 to 3 hours. And so if you've never done mini sessions before, or you've never made more than $3,000 on 2 to 3 hours of minis at a time, then this blueprint is for you. In there, I walk you through step by step how to do the things that you need to do to make that happen, because I've been doing minis for a long time and my students call me the queen of minis. So I have this thing figured out and I'm excited to be able to share it with you. So it's linked below in the description. Grab that before you go. Okay, so when it comes to planning my business for the upcoming year, I have some tools that I use and I want to share them with you guys. So first, I have my massive wall calendars from Kat Schmoyer. They are so beautiful. She has a full year version and a quarterly calendar. And so I have both of them printed really big on my wall and framed so that I can use them all year round and have them to refer back to. If you are either don't have an office, like for a long time, I didn't have an office, so that wouldn't work for me, then that's okay. Kat has it to where you can either print it out on a regular sheet of paper, or if you have an iPad, you can download the app that's called Good Notes. And this is something that me and my team love using because you can pull in the PDF of that calendar and then write on it straight on your iPad. So whatever works for you. I have the calendars linked below if you want to check them out. They're super inexpensive. So I think it's like $15 or something. So you can grab those, and I usually use some wet erase markers because I have mine framed in a Target frame, and so I just write on top of the frame and then can erase it when I need. So I use wet erase markers, I use washi tape, and I go from there. So get your calendars ready and I'll walk you through what I do to set up this calendar and plan for the upcoming year. So the very first thing that I do when I'm planning is I look at the year as a whole. So I put that quarterly calendar aside and I'm looking at the year as a whole. And there are some things that I write in first that are the priority that are not changing right off the bat. So of course that would be like family birthdays or holidays. Maybe there's vacations that we have planned as a family or any travel trips that we already have planned. Those are the things that go in first because I'm a huge believer in having and maintaining work-life balance. And to do that, I put in family stuff first. So I want to make sure that I'm not doing mini sessions on my son's birthday, or, I'm not traveling when I'm supposed to be doing minis or whatever, that it all fits in. So I put in the family stuff first, and then I go from there. Once all my family stuff is in and my vacations, also put time off because that's important. So once my time off is in there, then I'm going to pencil in mini sessions for the year. Now, this is not set in stone dates because especially for the fall, you just don't know what it's going to quite look like. But I like to pencil it in, maybe use a sticky note or something like that to say, this is around when I'm going to do these minis. For the spring, it can be more concrete. But either way, I'm going through and I'm going to look at what are all the minis that I want to do this year. So I'm looking at spring minis and, wildflower minis. And in the fall, I'm looking at red truck minis and Christmas minis and regular fall minis and so many different mini sessions. If you're doing full sessions, you may want to look at, when things naturally are happening. So when would be a good time to do couples sessions, maybe around Valentine's Day or whatever. Work around the holidays and set this up because this is going to be the basis for your marketing plan going forward. If you're a senior photographer, then you want to look at where the school year lies so that you know when you want to start booking those seniors for the following year and things like that. And once these are in place, I'm able to then work backwards to say, okay, if I'm doing mini sessions in April, then when do I need to start advertising them? And I can mark that on my calendar. And then when do I need to get my promo shots for those? And I'll mark that on my calendar. So you can work backwards from your dates so that you know what your marketing calendar should look like. And here's a pro tip. If you are doing seasonal things like mini sessions or you've got a senior rep program or whatever, once you've marked out when you're going to start advertising and all that stuff, give yourself a few weeks to prime your audience. So go back even further and start talking about those things. So you can literally put washi tape on your calendar for 3 weeks before you start advertising to say prime your list. And so you can, let's say you're that senior photographer, you can start talking about why senior photos are important, what props to bring, and just getting your audience ready with the idea of booking senior photos. Maybe you're doing a set of spring mini sessions. In that prime season, you could be writing blog posts about why to get spring photos done or outfit ideas for spring photos or whatever. That's getting your audience, your followers, your clients ready with the idea of spring minis. So you don't just spring in autumn one day and say, surprise, I'm doing spring minis, but they've had this priming period leading up to the advertising where they're like, oh, it's probably coming. So then they're more likely to book. This is also a really good time to really pinpoint objections that clients may have and deal with those. So for example, if you're, one objection for family photographers could be, why do I need photos in the spring when I just got some in the fall? And so you can maybe write a whole blog post talking about why spring is different than fall or why to get photos multiple times a year and things like that. So you can take this time to address those objections. And then, once it comes time to launch, you're ready. So all of this can be put on that really big calendar. That's why it's really great to see it in big picture so that you can count back and know what to do in what season. The third thing that I do that I love about Kat's calendars is that they have a monthly focus section. So still looking at our yearly calendar, once I have my months mapped out and all that stuff, in the monthly focus section under each month, I'm going to write what is the one thing that I am focusing on for that month as a whole. And so it's able to think more big picture and say, okay, what's my big thing in January? What's my big thing in February? What's my big thing in March? And go from there. So that's a very helpful tool that I love that Kat included because it's a way to take all the jumbled mess and really focus it for that month. And then the fourth thing that I do when I'm, planning out my year, I have my yearly calendar done. Then I pull in the quarterly calendar that Kat has provided in the bundle, and I look at just the first 3 months. So you want to look at the next 3 months. For example, this is going live in February. So if you're watching this video right when we publish, then we're looking at February, March, and April. Okay, look at the next 3 months, and I'm going to take those months from my yearly calendar and just copy it over to the quarterly calendar. But along with that, Kat has a section, of course, for your monthly focus still, but also for notes. What are some things that I need to know about that month going forward so that I'm prepared with everything that I need? Another thing that she also has on that calendar is what's called a success standard. And I really like this because it's your goal for the month. What is the standard that you're setting to know if you hit your goal that month? So if your goal is to book 12 mini session spots, then let that be your success standard. You want it to be something measurable so that it's an easy yes or no, did I hit it? Now, it's not like to berate yourself like, oh, I didn't hit my goal, but you're able to adjust for the next time. So you want something measurable so that you can know, did I hit it? If not, what do I need to change going forward? So there you have it. That's how I plan out my year. It's hopefully not super overwhelming for you. If it is, just start with the quarter and then look at the year later. But either way, be sure to grab that bundle from Kat with the quarterly calendar and the yearly calendar. It's really inexpensive. I want to say it's like $15. I should probably go check. But either way, it's linked here in the description for you to grab. And I know that it's going to be helpful for you. And also, if you have any questions about planning, you can reach out to Kat. All of her contact information will be there whenever you purchase that bundle. And she's always available. She loves helping with quarterly planning and things like that. So she would be a great resource for you if you have any questions specifically about these. Don't forget to like this video if you thought it was helpful so that other people can find us, and subscribe so that you know when new videos go live every single week. Can't wait to see you back this time next week. Bye guys.